Obviously, we don't have Malcolm out here right now, but Toriano is as advertised. Jaden Lucas, same thing. We've seen enough out of him right out of the gate to just both those kids are going to be able to help us. Jaden will probably have to do a little surgery on him. We'll probably let him go almost till probably spring break so he can get just some good work right now, foundationally, and then we'll probably clean him up a little bit. He's got a little shoulder thing we'll clean up, and so he's 100% ready to go. When we crank it up. So, but those guys, it's a really talented group. Really talented group. Obviously, we got Miles coming in here. Makuba's played some corner as well and could go play corner for us. So we're in a better spot than we were this time last year, and all the way around.
You mentioned the day DJ had. What specifically impressed you about what he did today?
16 to 18, made great decisions, took care of the ball, no turnovers, created a couple big plays, and just has a great command of what he's doing.
Have you seen a difference in terms of his, weight being down to 240, being more mobile?
Yeah, I mean he's always been athletic, but he just there's no question he's just moving a little bit better. He's never going to be, a 4-5 guy, but we don't need him to be. Just need him to be the best version of himself, and it's just part of the maturation process as these kids come to college, learning what their ideal composition needs to be, and then really buying into that, staying committed to that. And so he's done an awesome job, and it just becomes a lifestyle. It's really, because their body's their greatest asset, and it creates an edge for you in performance. If you really do a good job with your body, and it takes commitment. So he's definitely. He looks great, and again, the biggest thing is just confident. I think his experience last year shows. He's a great leader, and again, the guys around him are doing a great job.
How do things look at right guard right now?
Good. We're mixing things up there. We've been. J Mack didn't go today. We held him out, but just mixing things up, moving some guys around. Mitchell's been in there a good bit. Tucker's been in there some. We got a good group. I feel good about what they're doing. Linthicum and Trent can both play guard as well. So in a good spot. Dietrich is a guy that we think is going to, probably when it's all said and done, be a huge factor in there. And again, he's not going live, but he's getting a lot of the team stuff. And then Big John Williams is making a move. He got some reps with the ones today, and did a good job.
Good job.
Is Taquan back this spring?
No, he's graduating.
Okay.
He's going.
Coach, how's Aiden handling being the guy at punter?
Fine. He's doing fine. The guy that right now is standing out is BT Potter. He's trying to be Gardaki, I guess. He wants to compete, and man, he's been really good. Aiden's been good too. Jack, as you would expect, high school senior. It's always that way. I don't know why, but it's always that way. These kickers and punters, when they show up early on, they're all a little, whether it's Pinion or whoever. But BT, he couldn't kick it in the ocean when he first started because he, just a change and all that stuff, and just a little different deal. So Jack's going to be a good one, and we got to get back outside so we can get into some competitive work. We'll get into a little bit of that in front of some people, and when we get over in the stadium. So I look forward to that with our punters. That's always fun. But BT's been amazing with his kicks. Amazing how he's hitting the ball right now. Really proud of him. But he's punting the ball very well, and so that's been kind of a pleasant surprise this spring. And Aiden's doing a nice job too.
On safeties, how's Landon coming along? And then the Sherrod Colville, how you doing?
Yeah, Landon's coming. He's just same thing. We're protecting him. He's getting a lot of work. He's getting all the scale and team pass and separate. But we're not letting him go live. But he looks great. His body's in a good spot, like what he looks like. All those guys, Jalen, his grandfather's He's got to go home for a funeral, so he's going to be gone, Friday and Saturday. Funeral's going to be on Friday, and his grandfather passed, so he's had a good spring for us. Makuba is Makuba, and dynamic and do a lot of things. T-Bone's not out there right now. He's off the labrum surgery in his hip, but he's rehabbing well. So I mean, we got a really good group of guys. But Land is he looks like his old self as far as how he's moving, and but just being cautious with him and make sure he's really no setbacks this spring with him.
It's like to have healthy receivers, and
Oh my gosh,
Brandon Spector looks like he's moving well, and Adam Randall,
unbelievable,
impressive too.
Yeah, I mean we're going to have 10 on scholarship. It's been a long time since we've had 10 on scholarship that we signed, and so I'm really excited. We don't have EJ out there. He's obviously just came off the scope. We don't have Will Taylor out there. We don't have Antonio, and we don't have Cole Turner. So all those guys will join us this summer. But man, what we've got is been really, really fun. Spec looks great. I mean, you forget how fast he is, how explosive he is, big and strong. Doing a good job of creating depth and cross-training guys where you can. That's been really good. Bo looks great. Dakari, I mean, the experience that those two guys had was great. But, I mean, I feel like I say this every year, but the guy that you just, I mean, I'm almost afraid to say anything is Ngata. He's been unbelievable. I mean, he just looks like a pro. He's practicing like a pro. He's making plays like a pro. I mean, he just looks amazing. And so, again, hopefully it'll be that way when we get there in the fall, because, if it is, he's so talented. And it's really, these last 2 years have just been really difficult. And so it's a lot of fun to really see him. He's got a smile on his face. He's got a great energy to him, and he's got this sense of urgency that I love. He's been outstanding. All those guys have. I mean, and we got 2 or 3 walk-on guys that can play. I mean, we got a really good group. So we went from very little depth to enormous amount right now. We still got 4 guys that are out, but we're in the best shape we've been in a while. And they're making plays, and they're just playing with a lot of confidence. So, obviously Davis and Sage are out, and unfortunately Brady wasn't able to go today. But the work he's getting this spring is going to really, really be beneficial to him.
Coach, on Monday we saw 40 or 50 guys here just trying to make the scout team. Do you actually find guys like that?
Oh man, heck yeah. And Greg Hugel came through a tryout, national championship kicker. I didn't know who the heck he was, a tryout right here. We've had a bunch of those guys. Phibbs, our starting snapper, was a tryout guy. We've had several over the years. So that's why we do that. We do a tryout every fall and spring. Sometimes we have 1 spot, sometimes we have 2, sometimes we have none. So we'll build a little inventory, of guys that we feel like, because sometimes you may have a spot come up in the middle of the season. You go to the bullpen. So we build an inventory, we track them, and we've got several kids on the team right now. We got a couple of linemen that came through the tryout process, and Dominique came to our tryout in the fall, even though he couldn't do it. He came to so we know who he was and all this stuff. But yeah, we've had several.
Some of these guys have been here 5 or 6 times. They said, what does that tell you about their dreams?
You love it. That's what it takes. You got to be willing to keep moving and not give up on it. And even if you never get the opportunity, you can look in the mirror and know that you did everything you could within your power. And there's nothing wrong with striving, for something that you dream about and believe in. And even if it doesn't happen, the process of that makes you better.
Who are the players in this year's squad who are stepping up and taking leadership roles that you've seen that weren't there last year?
It's unbelievable leadership on this team. I mean, right out of the gate, just sometimes that takes a little while to kind of come together, chemistry, leadership. But this team has really been from day one. But we got a lot of veterans. I mean, we got a lot of guys that have played a lot of ball. We have 37 guys that have started a game. That's a lot of football. That's a lot of guys, and that doesn't even. Then we got another 13 guys that have been starters on special teams. So just bunch of guys that have been there, done that. You know, starting with the guys up front. You know, there's some grown men up front that have a ton of experience. That's where it starts. Same thing on the offensive line. You know, with J Mack and Putnam. Those guys have played a lot of football. Walker Parks. I mean, he's as natural a leader as you're ever going to come around. And then, you know, all those guys that got great experience last year that are just natural leaders, like Bo, like Shipley, like Maffa, like Kobe. I mean, these are, you know, Brenny. I mean, they're all just natural leaders. So, I mean, we've got that all across the board. We really do. Sheridan has provided great leadership for us in corner. Jalen and Makuba, those guys there in the safety. I mean, just every position. Trenton Simpson has been excellent. You know, McGuire and Vontae. I mean, we really have it everywhere. You know, BT, DJ, and as I always say, you don't have to wait to be a senior to be a leader. You know, those 9 mid-years that got here, they're all great kids, and you know, coming on. You know, Koval, you asked about him earlier. He's finding his way. There's a lot going on back there. He's going to be a great player. He and Toriano, man, we hit it out of the park with him, Toriano, and Jaden. Those 3 mid-year DBs that are here. Excited about them. So they're all good leaders.
Would you rather have different guys handling the kicking and punting, or do you have a preference?
I just want the best guy, whoever gets the results.